Hello students. So before starting principles of management, we'll know something about Henry Fayol. So who was Henry Fayol and how he has developed the principles of management that was widely accepted by the people. So Henry Fayol was born in 1884 and died in 1925. He was a Francisi. He was French management theorist concerning to scientific organization of labor. He was working over there. His theories were widely influential in the beginning of 20th century. So whatever he was working as a management theorist in an organization where he has given so many theories related to the development of organization, what kind of environment that should be there in the organization that will help or increases the productivity of organization. So what are the 14 principles that Henry Fayol has propounded that was greatly acceptable by everybody. So he was also called by due to that contribution, he was also called father of general management, and he has also given the functions of management, 4 functions of management which is acceptable nowadays also, that is planning, organizing, directing and controlling. So these principles, these functions are given by Henry Fayol itself. Later on it was modified, like staffing and other things also added to it, but earlier Henry Fayol has given these functions of management. Now next is, he has also suggested some qualities of manager, like what kind of physical, moral, mental and behavioral quality that manager should adopt when he is doing practices or he is dealing with the subordinate. So these qualities were also suggested by Henry Fayol regarding manager. So these are this is all about Henry Fayol, brief introduction of Henry Fayol. Now there are few principles. So in this 14 principles, the video will be too long. So in this video we'll discuss only 7 principles of Henry Fayol, and later on 7 principles we'll discuss in next video. So our first principle of Henry Fayol is division of work. Division of work leads to specialization of something. Like if the work is there, if we'll divide the work into number of person as per their potential, definitely it helps to increase the efficiency of the person. But as the person is engaged in that particular work and he's performing that specified work for a number of times, so as once in the first time when he'll do something, then definitely there will be some weaknesses also, some wastage also, and the work should not be that much optimum. But later on, as soon as the work is going on done by the person many times, then definitely it will improvise the efficiency of that person. और उससे होगा क्या, तो प्रोडक्शन जो होगी वो बेटर हो जाएगी. Then it will be applicable to all kind of work. If the technical or managerial skills, not only we are applying on subordinates, it could be applied on the managers also. If the managers are dividing the work, like production manager is there, finance manager is there, the advertisement manager is there, so they are doing their work in their specified area for long time. So in that way, that will improvise the expertise in the particular area. This will help the reducing the wastage in the organization, and definitely the work will be optimal. So the positive effect of division of work is leads to specialization and less wastage in the resources, and definitely the effectivity and efficiency of work will be greater. There, if anything has positive effect, then definitely some negative effect also is there. So if will not apply that principle, then definitely lack of specialization will be there, and definitely wastage or resources that will increasing day by day. So that is the loss to the organization. So that's why division of work का मतलब हो गया according to the capacity of the individual will divide the work, and specified work will be given to specified period, and that should not be changed many times. So if the work is continually done by the individual, then definitely the work will be good and wastage will be less. The next is authority and responsibility. Authority is the right to give order, and the responsibility is the obligation that is to be done by the individual. It means if the authorities are given more and responsibilities are less, then definitely it will not give good result. If authorities are more, then definitely the individual will be autocratic. Okay, so there will be a balance between authority and responsibility. So first of all, what are the positive effect of authority? Is there is misuse of authority, means if authority, no misuse of authority means if the authority is given consolidated as per the requirement, and side by side the same responsibility will be given, then there is no misuse of authority, and it will assist in quick decision making also. What are the effects of it? The effects of it is misuse of negative effect of it is misuse of authority and delay in decision making is delay in decision making. So that's why there should be a balanced authority and responsibility with the subordinates. Okay, so I think it will create a little bit of inconvenience, but sorry for that. Next is discipline. Discipline is the sincerity or obedience that is seek by the manager, the rules and regulations that is to be applied. देखो कोई भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में जो भी एक अच्छे सुपरवाइजर को क्या चाहिए होता है, वो हर लेवल पे चाहता है कि वो जितने भी एग्रीमेंट्स हो और जितने भी रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस हो उसको वो पूरे एबिलिटी के साथ अप्लाई करे, पूरे डिसिप्लिन के साथ अप्लाई करे. अगर उसमें कोई लॉसेस होते हैं तो उसके लिए पेनल्टी चार्ज हो. सो व्हाट डिसिप्लिन इज sincerity and obedience seek from the subordinate for implementation of rules and regulation. What is the help of this? It will help the smooth functioning of organization, and definitely it will increase the effectiveness or orderliness of the organization. Like orders are completely or fully accomplished by the subordinates within time. The negative effect also are there, like if the discipline is not there, then unhealthy environment will be there. between the subordinates and senior, because if nobody will obey the seniors, and definitely it is essential that the management or the organization should have a good discipline or good within the organization. It will increase the efficiency, otherwise it will create an unhealthy environment within the organization. Now next is unity of command. यूनिटी ऑफ कमांड का मतलब क्या है? एक सुपरवाइजर एक मैनेजर के अंडर में होना चाहिए. मतलब इफ या मैनेजर जो है, सुपरवाइजर शुड लुक आफ्टर हाउ द वर्क इज टू बी परफॉर्म्ड एंड ही शुड सुपरवाइज ओनली वन सबऑर्डिनेट. व्हाई दिस इज सो? क्योंकि ऐसा होने से कंफ्यूजन्स नहीं होते हैं. इफ टू सुपरवाइजर्स आर देयर एंड दे आर लुकिंग आफ्टर देयर सबऑर्डिनेट वर्क, तो डेफिनेटली दे विल गिव डायरेक्शन आल्सो एंड दे विल इंटरफेयर कि दिस इज नॉट, दे विल इंस्ट्रक्ट देम आल्सो. सो व्हाट विल हैपन? सो इन दिस it will create a confusion in the mind of subordinate ki to whom he'll obey. If two supervisors are there to observe how the manager is working, how the subordinates are working, so definitely two commands will be given. So definitely it will be create a confusion in the mind of subordinate when, or subordinate or labor or foreman, whoever it is. So then there is a relation, will be a conflicting relation between the two, and there is not a clarity of command given by them. So the positive effect क्या होते हैं इसके? If there is a unity of command, then it will prevent the confusion and avoid conflict between the subordinates and senior. And what are the negative effects if we are not following this? हम कभी भी इसको अगर नहीं फॉलो करेंगे तो डेफिनेटली क्या होगा? कंफ्लिक्ट्स अराइज हो जाएंगे, कंफ्यूजन क्रिएट होंगे, ऑर्डर और डिसिप्लिन जो है वो खत्म हो जाएगा. ओके, सो दैट्स व्हाई यूनिटी ऑफ कमांड शुड बी देयर. देन यूनिटी ऑफ डायरेक्शन. यूनिटी ऑफ डायरेक्शन मीन्स वन हेड वन प्लान. This means कि any plan is headed by only one person. If the manager is giving or implementing the or ordering or giving a plan to the subordinates, and that plan is not is given to the subordinates by two managers, then definitely होगा क्या? इसमें भी वही सेम कंडीशन आएगी. वहां पे था कमांड का और यहाँ पे है डायरेक्शन का. डायरेक्शन का मतलब हो गया, डायरेक्शन में हम प्लान को इंक्लूड करते हैं और कमांड में हम क्या करते हैं? सुपरविजन को इंक्लूड करते हैं. सो ये डिफरेंस है. वन हेड वन प्लान मतलब यूनिटी ऑफ कमांड क्या है? एंश्योर्स द यूनिटी ऑफ एक्शंस, unity of coordination, and it will facilitate the achievement of goals. So these are positive effect. And negative effect अब किसके क्या होंगे? इससे क्या होगा? Duplication of wastage, duplication of work reduce हो जाएगा, lack of coordination नहीं होगा, failure of achievement of goals ये सारा नहीं होगा. So that is unity of direction. Once again I'll explain you. Unity of direction का मतलब क्या हो गया? One head, one plan. Means one plan will be headed by a single person, a single head. Otherwise, if two head were there or the plans were executed by two people are there and they are giving a plan to the subordinate, then definitely the same thing is there. There will be a duplicacy of work, and definitely it will increase the wastage also and failure of achievements of goal, because we will be stuck to obeying the different seniors or different heads and implementing two plans. अगर 2 प्लान एक साथ चलाओगे तो एक भी प्लान अच्छे से नहीं हो पाएगा। तो एक अगर इंडिविजुअल वर्क कर रहा है तो उसको सिंगल प्लान पे ही वर्क करने दो। उससे क्या होगा, अगर वो सिंगल प्लान पे वर्क करेगा तो डेफिनेटली जो आउटकम होगा वो अच्छा होगा। अगर वो ड्यूल प्लान्स पे वर्क करता है, सिंगल पर्सन ड्यूल प्लान पे वर्क करता है, तो वो इसको भी बेस्ट नहीं दे पाएगा और इसको भी बेस्ट नहीं दे पाएगा। सो दैट इज यूनिटी ऑफ डायरेक्शन। देन सबऑर्डिनेशन ऑफ इंडिविजुअल इंटरेस्ट टू जनरल इंटरेस्ट। अब सबऑर्डिनेशन ऑफ इंडिविजुअल इंटरेस्ट टू जनरल इंटरेस्ट का मतलब क्या है? It indicates the like interest of the company. Interest of the company should supersede then the interest of individual. First of all, the company should come or the organization should come, and later on the rest of people are there. For example, if there is a situation where there is a conflict between the laborers, then definitely here the objective is to resolve the conflict as soon as possible, because this is not for the welfare of these people, but this is only for the gap of production. As the production is stopped, then definitely the production is stopped. Therefore, for that sort of period, the organization would be difficult to achieve 100% of objective. So somehow here also, देखो ये एग्जाम्पल मैंने दिया पर थोड़ा बहुत कम फिट बैठ रहा है। क्यों? क्योंकि यहाँ पे एम्प्लॉयज को भी हम अगर ह्यूमन एस्पेक्ट देखें तो एम्प्लॉयज शुड ऑल्सो बी कंसीडर, है ना। पर फिर भी वी हैव टू व्हाट आई एम टेलिंग ओवर हियर कि कंपनी के इंटरेस्ट को पहले इंपॉर्टेंस देनी है। अगर हम कंपनी की इंटरेस्ट को इंपॉर्टेंस देंगे देन डेफिनेटली विल डू ऑल द फेवर्स फॉर स्टेक होल्डर्स, फॉर शेयर होल्डर्स, फॉर एम्प्लॉय और फॉर रेस्ट ऑफ वर्कर्स ऑल्सो। अगर हम कंपनी के इंटरेस्ट को साइड में कर देंगे और केवल वर्कर्स की उसको रखेंगे तो डेफिनेटली यू कैन नॉट अचीव प्रोडक्शन। अब जब प्रोडक्शन ही नहीं कर पाओगे तो ऑब्जेक्टिव्स क्या अटेन करोगे, और ऑब्जेक्टिव्स नहीं अटेन हुए तो फिर आप जो वेलफेयर करना चाहते हो आप अपने लेबरर्स की, स्टेक होल्डर्स की, वो सब नहीं कर पाओगे। सो दैट्स व्हाई companies interest should supersede among the general interest. जनरल मतलब सब पब्लिक, जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में जितने भी लोग हैं, inside the organization and outside the organization. Organization is facilitating everybody, but when there is a coincidence and there we have to select one, then we have to select the company's interest first. Okay, तो इसके भी क्या पॉजिटिव इफेक्ट्स होते हैं? इसके ये होते हैं कोऑर्डिनेशन among the organization and personal goals, helps in achievement of organizational goal, and employee focused on group goal. employee यहाँ पे फिर personal चीजों को छोड़ देता है, he will focus on group goals. individual goals are lagging behind, उनको वो छोड़ देते हैं, because this create the behavior of an employee that he should consider company first, है ना, कंपनी को फर्स्ट एफ करता है। नेगेटिव इफेक्ट क्या होते हैं? inability of achieving organizational goal, then definitely it will affect the interest of stakeholders also and employees also in long run. So definitely if we are taking the interest, considering the interest of company, then definitely it will be last longer, because company's interest is the first duty of any employee, or whether it is subordinate, senior, junior, or whoever, whatever the levels of manager are, they have to focus first of all the company's interest. जैसे कंपनी की अगर इमेज की बात आती है तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल कंपनी की इमेज को कंसीडर किया जाता है, बाकी सारी चीजें सेकेंडरी हो जाती हैं। ओके, सो दिस इज ऑल अबाउट सबऑर्डिनेशन ऑफ इंडिविजुअल इंटरेस्ट टू जनरल इंटरेस्ट। फिर देन लास्ट वन इन दिस वीडियो इज remuneration of employee. Remuneration of employee means whatever the quantum of financial assistance that we are giving to the employee as per their potentiality. जो हम उनके पोटेंशियल, जो कैपेसिटी हम उनकी यूटिलाइज करते हैं, उनके बदले में रेम्यूनरेट करते हैं, जो फाइनेंशियल असिस्टेंस देते हैं, इट शुड बी फेयर एंड रीजनेबल. If it is not reasonable, then definitely it will create a dissatisfaction in the mind of employee. और एक unsatisfactory जो employee होता है, that will not give good results. वो उसकी जो एबिलिटी होती है, उसकी वर्किंग कैपेसिटी पे उसका इम्पैक्ट पड़ता है. और जब वर्किंग कैपेसिटी पे उसका इम्पैक्ट पड़ेगा तो हमारी जो क्वालिटी हम चाहते हैं प्रोडक्शन में, वो चीज नहीं हो पाएगी. सो दैट्स वाई फेयर रेम्यूनरेशन विल बी गिवन टू द एम्प्लॉय if we want to utilize the fuller potential of employee. What is the positive effect of this? Employee will definitely be motivated, and it will increases the confidence or dedication of the employee. It will increase the good relationship among the employee, because employee turnover कम हो जाएगा. क्यों? employee turnover मतलब employee जो है वो नई जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटी सर्च करना छोड़ देगा, और वो अपने क्योंकि यहाँ पे हमारे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में उसको जॉब सिक्योरिटी ज्यादा मिलेगी, फेयर वेजेस ज्यादा मिलेंगे, तो डेफिनेटली ही विल बी देयर इन द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन फॉर लॉन्ग टर्म, और उससे क्या होगा? ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को बेनिफिट होगा. सो इफ this principle is not followed, then definitely it will create, the negative effect is it will create dissatisfaction among the employees. And what other is, it will reduces the turnover of the employee, and it will create a unhealthy relations of the employee. Definitely your environment, and definitely if the employees are not satisfied and they are searching somewhere, and if they are if the employee turnover is increased in your organization, मतलब बढ़ते चले जाएंगे, employees एग्जिट होते चले जाएंगे, तो डेफिनेटली इंस्टेबिलिटी रहेगी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में, और जो एफिशिएंसी आप इंक्रीज करना चाहते, दैट इज नॉट बी पॉसिबल. So I have explained seven principles of Henry Fayol. In another video, I'll explain another 7 principles of Henry Fayol. Thank you.